Hi everyone, welcome on back. Jean here. Okay, today I thought we would work on a few July 4th cards, patriotic cards, whatever you like to call them. When I bought this pack, first of all, this was a clearance pack. Let me get that glare off. This was a clearance pack at Hobby Lobby, the military one. I'm like, here's the papers back there. And I bought it, I got quite a few family members that have been or still are in the service, stuff like that. But when I seen this, I thought, well, I could still make some 4th of July ones also with this one. So our first one is going to be from this pack here. And I'm making this one in honor of my brother. When I seen this sticker here, the eagle one, he loves eagles. So I'm going to make one that's kind of like, 4th of July-ish, military-ish, we're going to make. So we'll do that one first. All my card bases are going to be the same. I'm just using white card bases, the A2 size, and they're the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So, and I like to use 110 pound cardstock when I am working on cards. All right, so I already cut a piece out. I could take this out of here. I should have took it out to begin with because I need to get to that sticker anyways. So I took that one with the stars on in. I cut a chunk of that off, and then I'm going to use the eagle sticker. So let's move this aside. Okay, so I've got my card base. This is a quick, easy, simple one. Then I wanted to add some other color in it too. So then I have a red piece that is 4. Yeah, it's supposed to be 4. 4 by 5 1/4. I can't even think right there for a minute. We are going to glue that on here. And then this one is the 3 3/4 by 5. We're going to put that on top like that. I like the layer colors. Let me bring you down a little bit here. Not that way down. I like to layer and get in as many, like colors as possible, just to add dimension and stuff like that. Then I cut this circle, and I didn't have a punch big enough, and I wasn't going to bring out my Cricut for this one little piece. And I do have the Cricut Joy, but sometimes just cutting off one little piece. This one's 2 1/2. This was perfect. I don't even know where I got this little container from. Right now it's housing the stars that I got from Hobby Lobbies in their July 4th section. I used this lid. So something around 2 1/4. All I wanted was a background for the eagle, which we'll show you when we get to that. I just wanted some kind of so the eagle stood out. I didn't want to put the eagle directly on here. So 2 1/2 was the measurement I came up with. So let's glue these pieces down. We're going to start out with getting my glue fun. And then we'll start out with this piece. And this is just a 65 pound from Michael's. I think my brother moved to Florida. Well, it's probably been about a couple years now. He thought he'd take the easy life and leave Wisconsin and move on over to Florida. Much as I hate the snow, I couldn't leave. Everybody's here. I should say everybody that's left in my family. There's not a whole lot, and I got some good friends here, so I wouldn't want to leave them, and of course my daughter. Okay, and then we're just going to put that on top. So easy just to take your paper pack, whatever you're going to do, and just layer some pieces. You don't have to go me, I mostly use paper packs to make my cards. I don't do a lot of stamping and stuff like that. I like to take paper packs and see what they can do. And, you can get some pretty good cards out of there. I think I'm going to put this in the middle. And, oh my goodness, these are pretty darn sticky. So I don't think I'm going to need any extra glue. I just want to stick him kind of in the middle. If I can get it centered. Okay, and we're just going to put him down there. Okay, and I didn't foam up the white piece because the eagle's foamed up enough. So I figured that's good. Now, when it comes to certain cards, I do not do the inside. Now you can I may put a little sticker inside, but I'm not buying sentiment stamps for every holiday. I just, I don't need all that in my collection. I don't send out a lot of 4th of July. I don't send out a lot of Halloween, stuff like that. When I do, I like to just handwrite to them because obviously I probably haven't talked to them, seen them for a while. So if I'm going to send them a card, it's going to have more than Love Jean in it. I'm going to write in it. But I think for him, for this one, I will maybe put in one of these stickers. Oh my gosh, I wish they would do their paper packs a little different. And what do I want to put on the inside? Let's open it up and see what we have here. Just a little something. Let's see what the flag will look like. And I think I'll just put that right there. And then I'll write underneath there. Now, for a little bit more added dimension, I'm going to take some of these stars. And there's the red. There are 3 different sizes. The red is the middle size. The blue, these were at Hobby Lobby. So those are the stars we're going to work with. And I'm just going to scatter some around. I don't think I'll use the clear ones because they're kind of big. And they don't really show up the best. So I'm just thinking I'm going to just stick with like the red and the blue ones. So I'm just going to scatter. Probably should grab my little pokey tool thing, but And I'm just going to scatter some here and there. Let's see, where is it? Whichever's the first one we grab, that's the one we'll use. And we're just going to kind of randomly scatter some just for a little added bling. Not that he's a blingy kind of guy, but he doesn't get a say when I make him a card, right? And no rhyme or reason, just picks them up. Oop, I'm out of camera a little bit. I moved my table a little bit. Now I'm trying to get it set back. I had to move it for something, and then I didn't get it back. But my camera is mounted on the ceiling. So I kind of got to get it somewhat back into position. Come on, glue. Let's take another red one there. And then just because, I'll put a blue one right here. Just put on as many as you like. And then I think I'll put it up here a little bit. And we'll just call that a day for now. I won't go overboard. You'll be like, Jean, I don't need all that bling. Okay, let's get that out of my way so I don't spill it. And that is as simple as that is. And you could make some more out of this. I'm only going to make one for now. But you have that. And the eagle stands out on that white. He could be a little straighter, but that's okay. We're going to go with it. So card number 1, done in no time. Card number 2, I am going to use some of this. I'll link as much as I can. That paper pack obviously was clearanced out. These you probably still can get. These are stickers from Hobby Lobby. We're going to use these fireworks stickers. And we are going to use my paper. These paper packs have just been in my collection for quite a while. See what's kind of left of the paper. It's not even a full pack anymore. I just cut this out of this one. That's all I'm using from this one. And then my same card base. So I'm going to be putting the red one down. The white one, we are going to put these fireworks around in the background. And then we'll be putting this over the top and then layering it on. So let's go get this out. So I will link what I can. Some of this you might still be able to find, might be on the market, but some of it may not be on the market anymore because obviously I use my stash. Okay, so let's just start out with, now they're okay. I'm gonna, if they go off the page a little bit, I'm gonna cut them. I don't want it, looking almost like there was two stickers stuck together there for a minute. It looked weird. So I'm just going with that, and we're just going to kind of place some, no rhyme or reason, just randomly placing stickers. And what I'm going to do on occasion is I'm not going to really care about the middle because you're not going to see anyway. So I just want things to show. I'm going to put this one kind of here. We'll take this one, kind of bring off in the corner. And let's see, let's take this red one. We'll go up just a little bit, I think. And like I said, I just bring this in every once in a while. And we'll do the blue one or multicolor. I don't know if the multicolor is going to fit. We'll do this. We'll bring them off a little bit. Let's bring this one back down once. Bring this one. And then this one over here a little bit. And okay, I put this on there. We are going to, not using these white ones because you're not going to see them anyways. So we got some stars. We're just going to take and kind of fill in some of these other spaces a little bit. Oop, that big one fell. I want to put that big one right there. That fell off the plastic. Fill in that little gap a little better. And then put some blue ones in here. Right here too, I think. And then hold that there. See how I like that? I think that's pretty good. We'll hold there. What do you think? Now let's cut off anything that's overhanging. We'll just snip off. You know how long it took me to do that? I would not do that for the longest time. I'm like, I can't waste a sticker like that. I just can't cut that sticker off. I just could not bring myself to do it. It took me quite some time before I would do that technique. And it's like, okay, Jean, it's just a sticker. You can get more most of the time. They're sticking to me. But yeah, I would stick them, so that they weren't off the page. But then you come to realize that that's kind of not natural looking either. Okay. You just sometimes have, it's like when you hoard paper and you use paper. Just use it, okay? It's okay, Jean. You can use it. Okay, let me get this off my little fingers and my foam tape. I had one open, but we'll just open another one. We're using this one that I got on clearance. You see a theme here, trying to use as much of the clearance stuff as I can. Some of the Hobby Lobby, so you guys can see that I'm actually do use it. I think I took the other one upstairs the other day. Okay, this one I'm going to foam up. I like this okay. I wish I could have found more, but I didn't. They didn't have much at mine store for this one because it's not bad. It's pretty sticky too. And a little wider like that is kind of nice. Just going to do that. And it doesn't rip and when I'm taking it off like the Dollar Tree one does all the time on me. Okay, let's get this. And you can round the corners if you want or leave them. Okay, I'll use the camera to kind of position. I think it's going to be there. Okay, now let's glue our pieces together. Kind of hard to keep coming up with ideas all the time. I have to keep looking back on my videos too now. Did I do this style? So I don't want to repeat my styles or my designs either. Okay, looks pretty good. Then I'm going to lay this one on top. And if you don't have stickers, if you have a fireworks stamp, which I don't, you can do the same technique with a stamp. I just had those stamps and I'm like, I gotta figure out how to use them on a card. Oh, there's a little piece that I cut off that got caught on that there. And there, now you have another one. Simple as that. Okay, now this is probably my most intricate one, but it actually was quite fun to do. I wasn't sure. So I'm using the Doodlebug paper pad, the Hometown USA. And what I did, I don't know if you can see how much I use this one. It's all beat up in half. So I took one of the pages like this that had a bunch of these squares on and cut them all apart, which I have right here. So I cut them all apart. And I grabbed the July 4th off of one. So I got all these cuttings like that. And then for my paper, I took out this one from the paper pack. So we are going to be layering these. We're going to be laying this like this one. This one's going to open this way. So we're going to open this one this way. So we're going to layer that there. This is going to go on top. But I'm going to put these little squares, and first I'm going to lay them out. We'll glue on my hand. First, I'm going to kind of layer them out in the pattern that I want, and then we'll glue them down. So I'm going to put you here. I may have to reposition them a little bit. That's why I do not glue them down until you know what you're doing. And let's see. Take the scooter. Let's put the scooter here. Let's see if we want to go all the way up yet or not. Okay. And little Uncle Sam. Yeah, there's the other one. I was going to say I should have one more of that size. I'm going to put that one right about there. Push it up just a little. Let's see. I'm going to save that. Let's try this on this end. Really no rhyme or reason. I'm just trying to watch my colors, so I'm not putting like I don't want this one here because that's too much blue there, I think. And then we're going to put this one in the middle of this spot. Bring this one in a little bit. Trying just to kind of, the best I can, even your edges and stuff. And then this one hopefully will fit here, in here. And then this one will just go right across here, but I won't set it down because I have to glue all them down. I think that'll work out. Okay. I'm just looking in the camera, see how my position is. Looks pretty good. Grab my glue. And let's start with this one. Trying not to bump everything. These are fun to do with, you know, if you have paper pads like this that have these little squares like that. They can drive you batty. Like a puzzle. If you're a puzzle person, I'm not really a puzzle person. Okay. Give me about 10 pieces. I'm good. No, I'm just kidding. I don't like the puzzles that are like, ooh, M&Ms. Nope. I don't need that much of a challenge in my life. Okay, right about there. Looks pretty good. Check the camera. Let the good times roll. Yeah, we're going to put that. I'm still kind of keeping them like, you know, the spacing along the top and the sides as best as I can. The same. It's not a perfect science. Let's place this one, I guess. Before I position that, I can come over a little bit more. before you press it down too hard. You're smoking. I love Doodlebug. You guys know that. So fun. Okay. Now we're going to puff this little guy up. And just going to cut some of this off. And I'm going to cut that, just a strip off. See how easy that cut? Stay down. Hopefully I don't got it too wide. I did good. Got it too long, but not too wide. Keep those little bits. I just stick them right back on the roll. Okay, let's put that in place now. I'm going to try to get it right. I might go this way just a little bit, I think. Or like this. Okay. Now let's take our little stars again. Grab two of the blue ones. And put a little dab right on top. Down here a little bit. Okay, there. I think that's good. All right, let's layer these together. I think this is my favorite so far. Okay, and layer that together. See, this was the back side of that page. Oh, sometimes it's hard cutting up my pages. Okay, then we'll layer that one right there. Be careful not to hit my stars. Grab my paper pack and let's see if I have anything that we do want to put in the middle. Inside, I mean. That one's more for, I could put some words. Let's look at those. You don't have to get fancy on the inside. Just add a couple. I got all these little cutout pieces I'm looking at right now to see if I can use some of them. Let's see. Uncle Sam out of here again. Open it up. And I think I'm just going to put him right down there. And hopefully my stars aren't falling off right now. Let's see what my words were. How about thinking of you? That's kind of perfect if I'm sending this off to somebody. Like that. And had that up there. That is the inside if you want to put something on the inside. You know. My Christmas ones are the ones that I usually do the inside. I don't usually do it on everything else. Make sure everything is down. And there we have 3. Now, we might have time to quick do this other one. So I wanted to show you also if you want to use an embossing folder. So I have this one in my stash. Actually, it's the only one I have in my stash. I don't have much for 4th of July. I don't buy a lot of stuff for, you know, certain holidays because I just don't, you know, celebrate that stuff anymore, really. Okay, I did take that off of there. All right, so this one I'm using the same white base. Make sure it opens that way. And then I'm not going to leave a white border on this one. And then I already embossed the paper. This is just plain 110-pound cardstock. It's already embossed it with this. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little inking. I'm not a professional here, okay? So don't get excited here. So what I do is just kind of take, and I like these kind of like these dewdrop ones because I can use this point. So I'm just going to kind of like just lightly go over the raised edges. Don't worry if you don't get, I mean, if you get it on the paper itself, that's not a big deal. I'm just going to kind of take some, so I'm using 2 colors. I'm just going to kind of go through, and you can go as dark as you want, as light as you want, you know, whatever. Trying to follow the lines, which isn't easy. And I've got these bright lights on me, so don't, you know, if this isn't perfect, don't yell at me. Because 1, I'm trying not to get my head in the camera. 2, I've got bright lights shining down on me, so can't see as much as easily as I would. And let's just do this big one here. Sorry about that. Can always come back in and do some more. I'm just going to take some glue, and right away I just hit the paper, but I'm not going to stress about it. Finding all. Star there. All right, not going to play around with it too much, but you can kind of see. Now, as dark as you want, you can go darker. I like to go a little, you know, for mine, I'm going to like a little because it's already faded out. It's starting to fade out. So then for this one, let's put this down first. I just took this out of the Doodlebug one. And we are going to pop that one up also. Oh, get off my scissors. Okay, I think we'll put that down here. Right about there. And then, okay, well, and let's layer this together first, then we'll add some of those. Might as well use those stars in every card, right? Okay, I don't think we used them in the first one. Okay, let's glue this down. Then we're going to put this one, layer that on top. And I don't have a huge ink stash because I don't do a lot of inks. So I would like the different blue. So I use, I don't know if I can even read these anymore. Love Letter. That one's Love Letter. And this is Bahama Blue. I would have liked a little darker blue, but use what you got on hand because I'm not just going to buy something just for one-time use. Okay, now let's put a few of the stars in again. Oh, I don't think I got that very straight, but we're not going to cry. I'm going to kind of just follow along where there's, you can kind of see stars already. So let's start out with that. Red one. And I think we need something right about there. And you can go on and on and on and on and on. You can put some above if you want. You can sprinkle them wherever you want. But that is all I'm going to do. I think that's enough. So there's kind of how you can use your embossing folder if you don't want to. There's other ways you can ink your embossing folders also. So you can ink right in your embossing folder. I think I did a video on embossing folders. I did that and I showed you guys how to do different things. So there's different ways that you can use embossing folders. Most of the time when I use it, I'm either using it as my background piece or I'll ink it a little bit. So this is what we did. I think this is kind of my favorite. Let's get this back down. Woo! You see my Winnie the Pooh shirt? Winnie the Pooh. My fingers, I think, are still got some glue on them. That one and that one. And I know my brother's not watching, so he won't even see the card. So there, until he gets to them. Get this out of my way so we can get a better look. All right, guys. So there's, 4 pretty easy cards you can do if you, want to make some to send to anybody. I mean, very easy. Just take your paper packs. I mean, like I said, this one, if you have a stamp, that would go really quick and easy if you had a stamp. You don't want to buy like a whole bunch of packs of, stickers. And, it's okay for 1 or 2 people if you're sending off to, but, even though they're half price, it still could be costly. And so like this, using a paper pack, you can get a lot of cards out of one paper pack. And I can still get more cards out of this one. And then for something like this, like, if you could just ink it all one color too if you don't want to go in and do different colors. So there's a lot of different ways you can do these. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one and hope you have a great 4th of July. If I don't talk to you before then, as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.